Hi everyone. Today I want to show you how I make this napkin ring wrap. Well, I guess it's not a ring, but more of a wrap. I just wanted to show you different ways you could use the lucite flower and the techniques of making sprays and the versatility of the design. So let's get going. I'll come back with the absolutely needed component supplies. So otherwise, the actual design, you can make it any way you like, including just purely crystals or just with the silver bunches, I guess. The design possibilities are limitless. I'm just showing you in this lucite flower form. Thank you. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Um, let's see. The absolutely needed components are 1 millimeter wire. I think it's 18 gauge. I cut 14 to 16, maybe longer, but only because I'm not so comfortable with wire and I like to give myself a lot of room to work with. So this will be the bone of the wrap. Then I have a about 16-inch 26 gauge wire, and this is what I will make the spray with. And I prepared a half folded 14-inch length. I prepared two of those, and this will be the component that you will need to make the flower spray part, or the crystal part, if that's what you wish. Now, what I start with is I take one of the 0.4 millimeter wire and I hold it up and I bring it to about to the middle, and I want to start with crystal this time, and so I will put in the crystal here, and I will do the pinch and twist. Now, at this point, I know you have seen many sprays where there will be 3 in a bunch, and then you will make crystal flowers, should I say? But I want to try something new where I would like to combine the individual ones in a more of a flower shape. See, it will give me enough room for pinching. And then, rather than the wire, you twist the bead. Don't over twist, and that's how you break the wire, and that's never a good thing, which I have done many times. Pardon my hands. Been doing a lot of dyeing flowers, as you could see. These are my personally hand-dyed lucite flowers that I am using. And I don't know why, but I'm just obsessed with them for some reason. So I keep trying to come up with new ways to color these lucite flowers, and so that I could give different variety as well as different color. I mean, I love expressing their colors, and I think that's where it's quite beautiful. Now, I am spreading the 2 wires coming out from the crystal that I twisted to make it into a clover-shaped flower. And from here, I will take my first flower. I want to decide how I want to start this, and I think what I'm going to do is start with this flower that can be positioned upwards or bottom way, giving me a little bit more flexibility later in time when I'm actually setting the design. This particular flower, I know I need to put at least 5 4mm beads to make a loop enough to show the pearl at the end. So let's see, it's really hard to count and talk and fill in the space at the same time. So probably when I pause, please excuse me. Bring all the beads all the way to the side where you want the flower to stay, and then pull the other side, which will give you a way out. Here's a little trick that I have discovered, and what it is usually you would have to secure another bead and then make the twist to keep the flowers from falling off. But I found that if you split the wire and then continue on to make your next flower set, such as this combination that I'm making. And how you want to layer the flower is completely up to you, and whether, again, the design is completely your choice. I am showing you the technique how to build these kind of spray with less headache than when I first started, it was a lot of pain to insert that extra bead to keep the flower from falling off. But it was an absolutely necessary part of the the designing of this Lucite flowers. So what I realized is if I just make these in a row and then make a U-turn, and I call it U-turn because it's exactly that. This is my little bellflower, and this will help me move to the end gracefully and make a return. And as I come back, I plan to add another flower here, so I'm going to give myself a little room where I want this bellflower to sit. Now, by splitting this, none of the flowers are dropping from the wire. Sorry. And I will continue to add purple flowers in a row. And I don't have to particularly keep an exact space. So now I have a strong 2. Three. Let's see. It's easy once you move. It's much easier if you move the bead over to the side where it should be stationary, and you could much better gauge where you're going to end up. You could always fix the distancing issue on your way back. What I'm trying to do is make a 4mm pearl bead flower which will be the U-turn that I was referring to. And here I make lots of twist, and I could add another bellflower. Oops, sorry, wrong side. Then another pearl. And at this point, the flower is already sitting on a twisted end, so you don't have to worry about moving this. At this point, it's more important to keep the pearl and the flower in its position while you pull the wire. Then you make the twist, and you continue on making this twist over to the other side. And here, because I had missed a spot earlier, I have a chance to add the flower and be completely forgiven as to my forgetfulness or missing my distancing. So now I am gonna hold it tight. Oops. No, that's not. Here I need to redo because this is on the way returned, so I will not have a chance to fix it on this one. So hold the flower and the pearl down while you pull the wire. Then you start twisting again, and then you keep twisting. And at this point, I am going to make a, I need to twist a little longer. Let's see. I would like to add a small trumpet flower. And on this flower, I would like to add a little bell flower to it. Then 2 pearls. And if it is possible, you go through the pearl, the bellflower, and the small trumpet flower, and making the loop at the first pearl. Why do I put 2 pearls? For obvious reasons, because I wanted to show. Now, I am going to kind of continue on. Then I realize I'm kind of running out of wire. So what I will do is I could actually attach something kind of cute. The bellflower directly on the vine. And again, it's best if you hold the flower and the pearl down while you pull the wire. You're good. Now, here's the kind of, I'm wrapping up the one side of the wire. And then I'm going to twist this. And now I have this side that I'll be working on. But this side will also be working as a U-turn point. And I'm coming back. And at this point, I have a chance to join other things to make it not a, not a straight line, but a organized straight line, should I say. So far, what I have made turned out to be this so far. And I have this wire to do rest of the work. So from here, I could go further in twisting and then take a side route and do a crystal. I do this crystal, I need to figure out how long I want this to be. Then you hold it, twist here first, a couple of times, and then you could twist the rest, because if you just start twisting from base to the top, you have a higher chance of breaking the wire, which is never a good thing. Trust me, I have made that mistake many a time, so I wouldn't want you to do that. What I do like about making the crystal flower this way is that I have a lot more flexibility as to where I want each of the petals to kind of go. And I think the next time I might add a little pearl right here to make it into a real flower. What I'm just free, I guess. Free. This is not a pre-planned design. This is just as I go. I am adding and deciding the color. But I wanted to have a theme, which is kind of blue, purple, gold, as you could see. You could make it obviously another color, and you could make it with, again, just with crystals, which I think it's really beautiful. I think I would love to see if someone tried it. I would love to see how it turned out for them. And if anyone will share that with me, that'd be great. So now what I am doing right now is I'm trying to combine the two different sections that I started, and I'm gonna kind of join it at certain places so that it's a combined piece without completely combining them. This is just so that it'll be easier for me to attach this item to the what did I call it, the bone of this wrap. So that would be the 1mm 18 gauge wire. I really like to hide this end. So last time I used just a small bellflower, and I hid the wire in the bellflower, but I think that this little trumpet might be a better fit because it's just a little bigger, and I could just as easily hide the wire here. And what I would do is I would insert this 1mm wire at a place where I could secure it. It's positioned by the flower, which is about here. And what I will use both sides of the wires to secure its position. Actually, it's much easier to use the thinner gauge wire to move than the obviously the 18 gauge wire here. But what I would like to do is have some room for the 1mm to kind of give these thinner wires room, rather place to hold on to. I am wrapping this flower along this 1mm 18 gauge wire. And again, this is nothing planned, but I did notice that giving this tail end is actually quite fun, because later on when you are in the arrangement stage, it gives you a lot of flexibility. So I decided that this would be one end, and therefore I'm going to start putting this wood bead. You could use any bead. You could anything that could accommodate the 1mm wire that I'm using. And the reason why I chose the wood bead is because I don't think anyone wants clinking noise, if possible, on the dining room table. So, and how many beads you put in obviously equals the length. How long you want it to be is quite up to you. Again, in this design, I made it wrap 3 times, roughly. Twice, 2 full times and a overlap. But you could make it shorter or longer, and that would be up to your design. This is 12mm wood beads that I dyed with metallic gold to match some of the finishes that I used in the flowers. And they do. I tried making them with the pearls, but pearls usually having such small holes, it wasn't the best option for my 1mm wire. Again, the reason why I didn't use the crystal is because I did not want clinking noise in my dining room table, anyone's dining room table. So I am using the other long wire that I prepared to prepare the end pieces. Again, I think I am going to start with this beautiful 8x6mm faceted AB rondelles. And instead of making 4-leaf clover type flowers, I think I'm going to make a little bit of extension of cluster looking individual cluster arms. Let's see. Yes. Pinch, twist. First, let go, and then you could twist the rest of the way. That way, there's less chance of breaking. Sorry. Pinch, twist, then roll. Now, this one, I could do it this way. That's up to me. That's up to you. Whatever you want to do. I am going to put my pink flower, which is actually first time I was able to bring out a milky pink color, and it reminded me of Swarovski's Rosewater Opal. Someone I knew was very much in love with that color, so I hope to send her some. And because of that opal series, I was able to make these flowers in the very similar to those opal finish. One was sea opal, which is a green color, and then there was the blue, baby blue opal, and then the rosewater opal, and I think I made a violet version. When I finish making this flower set, the reason why you should put the bead on the side that's not going to move is because if you don't, you end up losing the place that you had designated for that flower, because you'll just have to end up where the beads kind of stops you from. So having talked about that, this is, let's see, violet, opal, I guess. This is rosewater opal. This is sea opal. And this is the blue opal. Let's see. How do I make it go big? There you go. They're quite beautiful. And it has a lovely gold finish that is iridescent. And this video is becoming very long. Let's hurry up and finish up this series. On this, because this is the end area of the flower making, I am trying to make not such a big splash, but finishing off what I had started up above. And that gives me a chance to